CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code.
Guys, the Chicken's here, back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, very excited. We are back on the developer build, and we are going over the sneak peek for Season 17. So, guys, make sure you're using the code CHICKEN in the shop to get your instant training for this season. They did have some Black Friday deals yesterday. It wasn't very instant training, which was kind of strange, but nonetheless, I do appreciate it. So, without further ado, let's go over the tech tree first, then we'll get into the deck layouts and that kind of thing. So, first off, at first look, this season, a little bit bland. We don't have any new troops. Stuff is kind of in the order that it always is for the most part. But there's 150 building health, and there is, I believe, 150 troop damage. So it's pretty balanced. Like, if I had to give this season the title, it would just be very balanced. So I feel like it's going to be great for competitive play, but I was really hoping for that oomph kind of this season. It's just something new that was going to be exciting. We're not going to get it, but there are some interesting deck layouts, so we'll get into that in a second. But let's just go over this tech tree a little bit more in depth first. So right out of the gates, what we want to do is we want to get to heavies. We want to get that troop damage, and then we want to get out of. Then we want to get straight to 4 ER. Basically, what we want to do is get to 4 engines as quickly as possible. Then we want to backfill. Then we're going to want to go pick up our boom cannons, building damage, probably brick. I think looking at this, brick is going to be the hero early on. There's no seekers super early in the tree. Actually, I don't know if there's seekers at all in this tech tree. Okay, yeah, but they're not till... Seekers aren't until pretty well the end, so bullets not going to be huge. We're going to get heavy choppers and bombers pretty well at the same time, so obviously that's going to be the dominant meta. I think it's going to go basically pretty simply like this. I think it's going to go heavy rush at the very beginning. We have our shock bombs. Obviously max out the landing crafts right away. I'm not sure if you want to spend your tokens on the gunboat. Tokens might be a little bit sparse this season, so maybe hold on to those, especially until we get to 4 engines. Then we're going to go and kind of backfill. But here's the route that I've kind of looked at. So we start at heavies, right? So we start at heavies. We're going to go cannons. We have to get medics, so we got to spend the keys there. Then we're going to go the 3rd engine, troop health, and then where's the 4th engine? It's right down there in the middle. So then there's the top or the bottom path. We look at these two differences here. So there's troop health, brick, boom mines. Boom mines are going to be important for heavy rushing. But if we go down towards the middle, we get Zukas, which probably won't be that dominant in the meta. They're going to be a little bit too slow compared to heavies, especially if we have to get brick anyways on our way up. But there's a couple ways you could do it. So you could go Zukas, building damage. Actually, we're going to need flares. I just realized that flares are not till later on, so we're going to have to go down and get flares. So we're going to go building health, Zuka, flares, probably grab the building damage, mortar, grenadier, boom cannon, boom mine, med kit, and then up to 4. So it's going to be an expensive route. That's probably the optimal way to do it, but we'll kind of see what happens there. Now, guys, we have a million keys and a million tokens, so we might as well start spending some of those. And let's just unlock everything here. Again, we are in the dev build, so this is not live in the game, obviously. But here's kind of the path that we're looking at. So we're going to max out the heavies, probably max out the cannons, probably max out the snipers. Maybe max out the machine guns too, because, we're going to need them eventually. We're going to go like this, and okay, it's going to bring us over here. So we'll throw out our next engine, just like that. So you see the difference between the 2 ER deck and the 3 engine deck. It's very close. If you look at it quickly, you didn't notice it, but it's just a little bit bigger. It's just a little bit bigger going from 2 to 3 engines. I thought it might have been a bug. I asked Supercell. They said it's not, so it's going to be like this for the season. So we got to be making sure that we're ready for that. So we're going to max out the troop health. Probably go to brick next. I think this is probably going to be the best path. Now, you guys remember from a couple seasons ago when I maxed out brick, and it made a huge difference. So make sure that you do that if the tokens aren't hurting too much. So we'll go like that. Probably get boom cannons too. But then we'll go up this way. We'll grab that 4th ER. And interesting deck layouts. So this is like what I said before. And then we go up to 4. And for a heavy rush meta, I think this is super interesting. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see what kind of meta the engine layout turns out to be. I think it's gonna be something like this. They're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, with a bunch of defenses kind of clustered in towards the back, probably, while the heavies are staying there for the longest. Probably something like that. But we've never seen this deck layout before, so that's really interesting. Let's move on up to the next one. And yeah, I mean, we're probably going to want to get boom cannons and that, but yeah. So again, rockets aren't too far out of the way because we actually have to get troop damage to get to the rocket launchers, so that's going to be nice for this season. Rocket launchers typically are one of the strongest defenses that we can get, but most people tend to pass them up because they're just simply too expensive or they're not on the correct path. This season, it doesn't matter. Let's just unlock everything here. Yeah. Well, it's not that it doesn't matter, but it's they're a little bit more achievable for most players, so I think that's a good thing. All right, so here we go. Here's a look at the 5th engine. Now look at this layout. That's crazy, right? If you guys want to take screenshots of this so you can plan, go ahead. But yeah, obviously the engines are going to be in this position. I'm not going to realign them. You guys can kind of imagine for yourself. It's probably going to be, spread out. But it's very interesting, especially because at 5 ERs, I think we did get rocket choppers. Yeah, we did get rocket choppers right here. So at 5 ER, we are going to start to be able to fly over top of the holes instead of just using heavy rush or heavy Zuka or whatever. All right, so let's just keep moving. I think this is kind of somewhat what our tree is going to look like. Obviously at 5 we're gonna have to go back and, well, I just unlocked everything, so it doesn't matter. But either way, we'll get a good look at what's going on here. And here we go. Okay, into 6. Now 6 opens right up. We get the second landing zone, and we get our 6th ER. And you can see right here we got the 2 landing ramps, and it's really kind of wide open at this point, which it typically is. And then we'll move into 7, and at that point it'll be basically everything. The whole map will be unlocked. But yeah, overall I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good season. I think it's going to be good. It's I was just a little bit disappointed that it didn't have a new troop. It didn't have, any sort of new function. The season length, I know it says 7 days there. I should have said this early on. It is 22 days. I can confirm that. It's the same, 3-week season that we're used to. That's not changing. This is just because it's on the developer build, so it's a little bit kind of wonky looking. But yeah, usual season time and everything like that we're used to. So. All right, let's unlock the 7th engine and see what we got here. So you see it's a little bit more opened up. It's really wide open, actually. It's quite the difference from going to the beginning of the season where we're kind of stuck. And I feel like early on it's going to be tons of fun because it's going to be really interesting to see how the metas kind of develop around these kind of weird sort of warship decks and, only having basically heavies and Zukas and brick maybe at our disposal. So... yeah. So based on everything that we know from past Warship seasons, it's probably going to get very grindy if you stay at 4 engines for too long. So I'm thinking you just grab a couple key defenses and then get out and go to 5. We'll see more of that as we go on. But my plan for day 1 is simply to get heavies, max them out, max out the troop damage too. I think that's going to be key. I think troop damage is going to be key, more important than any other defenses. If you don't have a lot of stuff from the previous season, troop damage, skip the rifleman, grab the building health, max that out as well. Those 2 are going to be key. Then we're going straight. We're getting out of 3 engines. We're going into 4. Even if it's not the best thing to get these 2 nodes right off the bat, even if it's not, what some of the top guys are doing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's going to put us at an advantage over most of the people that are playing the game that don't have it, especially early on. Because there's a lot of just general kind of casual players that'll play the first few days of Warships and then just give up. So it's an easy way to get wins for sure. And then we can move on from 3 engines and we're going into 4 where it really opens up in terms of the tech tree. But we're probably going to want to grab brick. I'd skip Bullet, for 42 keys. He's really expensive that early on. He's going to put you a few days back from going to the fourth engine. So, yeah, probably skip Bullet. It's actually a somewhat similar tech tree to last season, and kind of in some ways. Prototypes we didn't cover. So, prototypes we have level 1 prototypes there. Level 2 prototypes here. What else do we got? And then we have level 2. So pretty weak prototypes this season. We actually only have 2 maxed out prototypes to use this season. Well, 5 including these ones, but that's at the very end of the tech tree. So, weak in terms of protos. Pretty solid in terms of building health and, troop damage and troop health. That stuff's all kind of even, but yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this season down below in that comment section. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know if you're excited, if you're not excited, what you think of the tech tree, what you think of the deck layouts, everything like that. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure you're using the code CHICKEN in the shop to grab your instant training for this season. And, we will see you. We're going live Monday. I think it's 3 a.m. Kill me. Eastern time. So make sure you're tuned in for that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you next one, guys. Check it out. Back.